I feel like you should stand back there so the size discrepancy is less apparent.
Does he look taller now? Welcome and welcome back. In this video, we're going to give you 5 or so things you can do to help improve your press. Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah. All right, so check them out. And don't forget, if you like what we do, like, subscribe and shit. All right, let's get down to it. Let's rehearse this thing. Hey, what better way to figure out where you're at than to figure out where you're at?
Exactly.
All right.
One of the things we want to start with is getting the bell into position. We're not throwing random drills at you because they're interesting or quirky or we think you're going to find them interesting.
Or quirky.
We're only using drills that have an application to the press. One of the things that is obviously an issue is readiness. When you are getting ready to press, the clean is an important part of that. Not just the clean, but depending upon the width of your bell, now he's not going to need to alter his stance much here, but if you were going for a bigger bell that he would actually need to practice for, he's going to need to widen his stance more. That may not be his ideal pressing stance. That may take him wider than he wants to be. If that's the case, he's going to need to rehearse the step in. So we've got 2 different ends of the spectrum here we're going to work. The first one is called a 1, 2, 3 go. He's going to grab the bell, clean the bell, practice a step. As soon as that bell is still for a fraction of a second, he's going to go. The purpose of this drill, this is not going to be, let's say you're going to get a skills test. This is not going to be passing for a lot of your skills. Okay, they're going to demand a pause before you go. This is not the way we're suggesting. What we're learning here is how to get set up quickly and how to get that setup just dialed into your brain. So he's going to find his stance. He's going to clean the bell. You're going to go a little bit lighter on this. He's going to practice his step, whatever he needs to do. As soon as that bell is in place, he's going to go right up.
All right.
Kind of like that. So let's go ahead and take I want your clean out a little bit farther. Let's just say you're practicing with a heavier bell. Let's move the clean out just a bit more so you can get a little more power into it if you need to. So we'll practice this from a variety of stances, distances. Either way, you're going to see same step in, he's ready to go. As soon as that bell is still, he's going. The other end of the spectrum is we're practicing the clean portion. So something that people often struggle with is how do you clean a heavy bell? I can maybe press the bell if I get a good clean, but you're not getting a good clean. So it's really a good idea to practice with the bell that you ultimately want to press. Why don't you grab something heavier? So this is going to be a little closer, still a bit on the lighter side.
You want me to get a heavier bell?
Well,
Am I pressing it or cleaning it?
I did, but I didn't want to call you out in front of other people.
Pressing it or just cleaning it?
Is this? Well, you're just cleaning it.
Oh.
Like you're using your teeth?
Yeah.
It's a little light, buddy.
Okay, here, let's just do this one.
There we go.
30.
So
that's good.
So now he's getting closer to an adult-sized kettlebell.
Oh, wait. If you're an adult watching this may be a heavy kettlebell, it may be a light one.
Everybody's somewhere different. For him, this is a few sizes off of where he wants to be. So this is actually a good practice weight. What he's looking to do in this variation of rehearsal, he's going to do the same thing, although his stance is going to probably be a little bit wider. But in here, once he gets in position, rather than going right away, what he's going to do is find the rack, and then he's going to just create tension. He's going to practice some tension techniques. So give me three tension techniques that you're going to practice. What 3 spots of your body are you going to tighten up?
I'm going to tighten my grip.
Okay.
I'm going to tighten my legs.
Okay.
And I'm going to use an offhand grip crush on this one.
So one hand, quads. Okay. So those are the 3 things. You can do more, but it's good to see, just focus on 3 at a time until you build them up and they become automatic. So he's going to press it, get it into position, and he's just going to get ready to go from a stable yet relatively relaxed position to I'm squeezing everything position. So let's do that again. I like the delay. The delay is fine, but I want the stance in the rehearsal a little faster. I don't want
the step in.
I want you to be ready to go. So when you do this, you should ideally be in that 1, 2, 3 go position. You're just not going. You're set up really quickly. You're just not going anywhere with it. There we go. Now, yes, beautiful. So one thing that's important is once you get your rehearsal, your step in, tiny bit of a delay where you're stable yet relaxed, and then you're gonna squeeze, because you need to, if you're tight right away, let's say I'm your instructor and I'm testing you on this, you get your bell cleaned up and you go right away. Well, I didn't say go.
Yeah.
Okay. There needs to be a little bit of a delay, and if that delay's not there, you may not pass. So what we're looking for, tiny bit of a delay where you're not tense, right? And if you're tense right in the clean, you get this thing and there's a long delay, and then your instructor says go, like you already lost all of your energy. Okay?
It's gone.
Yeah. So these are the rehearsal drills, and this is kind of at both ends of the spectrum. So one is the 1, 2, 3 go, get it in position, rip it up as quickly as you possibly can. The other one is let me get some practice in with my clean, with my step in, with my setup, and then let me feel what it's like to really get those tension techniques going.
Guess what? We got a stick.
A stick. This stick.
We're going to use this stick to help some of our tension.
We are.
All right. How we do that?
Well, the idea here is the last drill with the rehearsal, we ended with tension techniques. One way to increase your tension and to also challenge your position is to use some external feedback, another device. So let's say I'm doing my right press here. I can bring that stick into the floor. Okay, this is going to really help me create more of a flexion-based impulse. It's really going to help drive my attention downward. I can bring it into the ceiling, okay, and now this is I'm going to come up. This is a little more extension. I'm using the hips though, not the back, okay?
Okay.
And if I find a wall, this is going to challenge me in rotation. So not only am I going to be rotating, but I'm going to be challenging my rotation. When you are doing a heavy press, you're going to have all of these elements in it at some point. This is a really good tool to find some of these weak points in your press. So let's say you have a habit. Do you know anyone who has a habit of going to extension when they press?
Yeah.
Who?
Well, I don't want to say names on the video. Maybe. Depends.
So he has a habit of going into extension.
I wasn't going to say names, but pointing works too.
So Jeremiah has a habit of going into extension. So we're going to want to give him the opposite. Now we want to feel, he should feel comfortable creating extension with the hip and not with the back. So we will give him both. But for now, for starters, I want to give him this stick, and he's going to bell. He's gonna get the. Actually, why don't you clean the bell up?
Well, I was going to show him that you can do both.
You can do both. Watch him. Drum roll. That was amazing.
Whoa! All right, that's not even part of this video.
So get your stance here. I want a decent line. I want the kettlebell or the elbow close to the body. That way you're not taxing your elbow, your shoulder unnecessarily, and you're using your midsection. You feel that? Mm-hmm. Good. Go ahead and do some presses. Now, he's not using a super heavy load, but what I would do for him is I probably would bump this up to maybe a 32 and have him get into some deeper water and have him go into, past like the 5, 6, 7, 8 range to see how it feels to create flexion when he gets tired, because that's when that extension is going to come out that we're trying to fight. So I want him to get tired. That's when this is going to be more relevant. So he's going to have to, if he's creating flexion the whole time, he's not going to be able to create extension. That's the idea of this drill. If you over rotate, you're going to put it into the wall, et cetera, et cetera. So whatever you feel you need to practice, and we recommend going at all kinds of weird angles with this in order to see what it is your body actually needs. You might find some weak spots, and this can be a very powerful training tool.
Yep. Hey. Let's do another drill. Let's say that you are having a hard time in certain positions and points along the way. This one is designed for that. All right. This has to do with the press, though.
No.
Okay. Sticking points. Let's have them.
The customary sticking point for most people, you're going to get stuck either right in the rack. We've got a drill coming up later for that. Or you're usually going to get stuck right below kind of the level of the eyeball. Usually once you see this knuckle go above the eye, it's rare that someone doesn't finish a press. I've seen it happen.
Not going to name names.
But usually if you get it this high, you're good to go. So anywhere from maybe, it's going to depend on obviously on how long your arms are.
I feel like this is my sticking point.
And it may be a little higher if you've got longer limbs. So you want to play with it. It's not always going to be in the right spot, but you want to see where that point is, but you want to get comfortable there. So he's going to use a 24, but he's gradually going to build up. He's going to do a press. Everything's going to be the same rehearsal, step in, whatever he needs to do, tension techniques. And he's going to get to that spot with a lighter bell that he knows he can really, really handle. And he's going to grind and he's going to hold and he's going to keep his body tight. And he's going to get very comfortable in that spot. So where do you think your spot is? Okay, right about there?
Yeah.
So that's what we should see. So let's go ahead and get into position. And we'll go for a 5 count. Nice. Very good. And then he presses. So the press is optional. I like the press after because it teaches the body I can grind in that hard spot and then succeed. Yeah. So you've got a little bit of extra work to do. Tension, relaxation, success. It's all there. So we do want to maybe play with some different ranges. So if he thinks it's here, he's probably going to want to go a little bit lower and a little bit higher. Good. So that's the idea, is you teach your brain how to work hard where you're having trouble, but you use a bell that you can accommodate. If you're getting stuck with a heavy bell, you're not spending really almost any time in that hard spot. And one thing that we see and really encourage you not to do when people are going to fail a press, they know they can't press it, but they stop. And that's not a good way to get stronger. There's a lot of good things happen if you get, let's say I'm pressing something heavy and I know it's not going anywhere. A lot of people will just bail and they'll start to grab the bell and whine and go home. But if you really grind and you stay nice and tight in that position, you don't lose the integrity of your setup, of your midsection. You're probably going to get yourself stronger in that position. And if not, we're going to come back in with a lighter bell, and that's what we're going to do this.
Yeah, don't waste the tension, right?
Nope.
I mean, you got it there. Might as well use it and get better.
Yep.
The video.
Oh, they have electricity. We can turn off our Amish demographic.
Then they're missing the point of these videos.
How about they probably aren't on
We're
Instagram.
not even doing lighting.
Are the Amish on Instagram?
No.
Well, let them answer for themselves.
Okay, well, I guess the way I understand it is if they're at work, they can use electronic devices.
So maybe they're browsing at work.
That's right. Maybe their job is social media content
I don't know
creator.
what people say about that. Browsing's probably not right.
Swipes?
I don't know. All right.
Hey, check it out. We're going to use 2 bells for this one, and this guy's going to do it. But first, I'll tell you about it.
So we're going to get into center of mass with these next 2 drills. Really quick primer. We did this on the YouTube, didn't we? Center of mass? Probably. I think we did.
Maybe.
If not,
you'll see one soon. Yeah. I think we did it in a course. We
definitely did that. So the anatomical center of mass, where most people start with it. Again, this is not a static thing. It moves around. Okay, right now this is his mass, and this is roughly the center of it. When you add mass, like a kettlebell, you get a shift. So if his center of mass is somewhere between his belly button and his junk, when he adds a kettlebell here, it's going to slide toward that kettlebell. The heavier the kettlebell, the more the center of mass. So a general rule is when you add mass to mass, the center is going to drop. Or it's going to move toward the added mass, let's say. So the hanging press, what we're looking at is, yes, we're going to have a center of mass shift, I've got 220 kilos here. So total of 40. That's going to shift me away this way, toward the side of the bells. But because we've got one bell hanging lower than the other, this center of mass relative to this is going to bring that center of mass down. So it's effectively going to create a path, a harder path, or a path during which the press is going to be harder for longer. This is a much harder press than you probably anticipate. It's not, you know, if you're doing a couple 12s, it's probably going to feel a lot heavier than you think it is. This is really great if you're having a hard time right out of the starting blocks, right out of the rack, because it's pulling things down. It's uncomfortable. It is not an easy press to do, but it is very, very effective.
Yeah, and if you've ever seen any of his press videos, he can press a lot, mainly because he does this. Well, not mainly, but also. I like that. All right, let's see it.
All right, so a little awkward to get in position. You're not going to be able to do your regular clean. Make sure your straps are in good line. You're going to want to grasp the bell here, so when you grab it, you don't have to do too much shifting. So let me get into position here. Okay, on my forearm.
Whoa. Excellent.
Like that.
Piece of cake. And the cool thing is, like, if you don't have two bells, you can use a weight plate, a dumbbell, whatever you can strap to the bottom.
Whatever
The same concept's going to
cats.
apply. Cats, children, I have both, and maybe that's what I'll do tonight. All right, I'm ready. Oh, okay, hey. So you might notice something different about this one. Well, we're going to use the wall as a prop.
We are.
Tell them about it.
The wall is going to restrict the bell from moving forward. As I said with the last drill, we're working with center of mass. Now, the center of mass, you recall, is going to shift in the direction the bell goes. So if you're starting to press and you're keeping it nice and tight, that center of mass is going to be lined up over your base of support. And if you know the definition of balance, you just got it. That center of mass over the base of support, you're balanced, you're happy, your press is likely to go up. But if you notice that when you push the bell up, you drift too far out or too far forward, or you don't have the kind of that 45 degree that you're supposed to have for the hardstyle press, you may want to have the wall in front of you. If the wall's in front of you, you can't do this. As you extend this arm out, you're going to get this mass farther away from farther away from your body. You're going to make the press harder than it is. So we have one guidance on the way up. Another thing I'll see when people come down is they go up with a good path and then they come down way out here, okay? So the press is fine, but if you're going for reps, this is going to tire you out. It's going to be really, really challenging. If that's your goal, cool, but for most people it's not. So very simple setup. He's going to stand in front of the wall, he's going to clean it, and he's going to step into position so he's right in front of the wall. You do not need that much room. The kettlebell is going to come back behind you. You're going to need maybe a ½ inch in front of your elbow. That's about it, because the bell path should immediately open. Okay, you're going to come up and you're going to open, so you're not going to need any of that space in front of you. So let's go ahead and do that. Good, so you're really gonna have to pull the bell back on the way down. And this is gonna feel really good once you get this groove pattern, especially when you start doing some endurance pressing. Okay, so it's gonna teach the proper opening of the press, that 45 degree, roughly angle that the elbow is gonna move out, and it's gonna teach them how to pull that press down and back. There we go, nice.
Well, there you have it. Some things that'll help you improve your press. Now, you can do them in this sort of order or pick which one will help you at the time. Anything else about the press?
Don't do drills you don't need to do. There's no need to do extra things in your workout. That's what you want to do, cool. If that's what you feel like you need, cool. But we believe in saving your energy for what's important. Mm-hmm. And if you have extra energy after your workout, do it to recover a little bit better.
Yeah, and if you're not even sure what you need to work on with these drills, send a video.
Yeah,
we'll check it out. Yeah, you got us on Instagram, The Iron Revival. It's easy to send there. And Stay strong.